How's it going, everybody? I'm Chef Spencer. This is my wife, Emily. We are Silver Smoke Events and Catering. We just actually came from the farmer's market, and we're going to make you a farmer's market breakfast vegetable hash. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right. So you're going to want to have your pan about medium to high heat. Get that smoking out of ready to go. And we're going to start with our onions. You're going to throw on your squash.
So we've got a honey butternut squash that we got at Hill's Produce. And then we got our potatoes at Natural Trading Co. And mushrooms from Mushroom Adventures. Yep. All from Auburn Farmers Market.
Over there. Okay. So occasionally stirring, we're going to let this cook around like 10 to 12 minutes until it gets nice and golden brown, caramelized. And you want to make sure that you have the potatoes and the squash and the onions all uniformly cut so they all cook together. But in this process, we can season with a little bit of salt to taste. You can always taste it and come back later and add a little more if you need to. A little fresh cracked pepper. And I always like to add a little chili powder or smoked paprika. There's a nice little spicy element to it. Like that.
Do you want a little more butter?
Sure, why not? You can put a little more butter, the better. And we're going to let this go for about 10 to 12 minutes, like I said, and we'll come check on it in a little bit.
So like we said, we just came from the Auburn Farmers Market, so we had kind of a set idea of what we wanted to make today, but like we always do, we end up seeing beautiful produce that we want to add on, so like we ended up doing a red Russian kale, and then we added on mizuna too.
Also mushrooms, we came across those. So.
Yeah, so we were planning to do fennel, but instead we ended up with mushrooms from Mushroom Adventures, and red Russian kale from Hillview Produce.
And this is a winter hash, but during the summer we could add more like spring onions. We could add
like a zucchini squash.
Zucchini squash.
Great.
Whatever you really want to add as well. So now that it's been about 10 minutes, you always want to make sure and you go ahead and taste the potatoes. For like seasoning and also, here, I'll let you try it actually. For seasoning and for doneness. Yeah. So this is about the color you want to have. You want to have a nice little caramelization, a little bit of golden color, and from here.
Just make sure that they're nice and tender, no crunchiness in the potatoes.
From here, we're going to add our garlic. Put that over here, and we can go ahead and add our mizuna and our red Russian kale. And
again, both of those are from Hillview Farms.
And then squeeze of half of a lemon. This is going to just bring everything together.
That's a Meyer lemon from Snow Citrus.
So this is going to cook pretty quick. And again, this is on about medium to high heat.
Ready for parsley?
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You could dump in like a nice handful. Okay. Maybe 2 of those.
2 generous pinches.
And then you could save a little parsley for garnish at the end, but the color of this is beautiful with the Russian kale and the mizuna. Really nice.
Yum.
And this is a veggie hash, but if you wanted to add some steak or chicken or bacon.
Bacon, sausage is really good
anything.
with it. When would you put that in? Would you cook it at the beginning?
Yeah, I would pick that up at the beginning, for sure. Yeah, this is right where we want it.
So that'll be another 1 to 2 minutes of cooking. Just make sure it's moving throughout the pan so nothing gets too crispy on the bottom.
Yeah. I have another spoon so we can taste this too. Just always taste your food and make sure it's where you want it. And you're going to be my taste tester. You always are. So. Yummy?
The lemon made it really brighten up. Good.
Alright. We can turn the heat off of this guy. This is ready, and now we're going to go over and start our eggs. So,
We have fresh eggs from Pierce Family Farms. We got these at the market today too. So pretty.
perfect. So we can add a little butter. Maybe just like a teaspoon, or I mean a tablespoon. Sorry. And I always like to add a little oil too so the butter doesn't burn. I'll put that over here. Just get all that nice and melty. This is stir so that doesn't stick or burn. Now we're ready.
Can't wait for breakfast.
So I usually you could do one or two eggs. Yeah, I like to do two. You got a little salt and pepper on there.
Yeah, typically we'll do, depending on what the person wants, so you do them per dish. So if you want one egg on top of the hash, you do one. If you want two, add two in, and then you'll just cook each dish individually.
Yeah. And I'm gonna cook these sunny side up, so you can use a little clear lid. You just have to watch it carefully. So what you want to get is have the egg whites cook and set, but you want to keep the egg yolk still running.
And
Doesn't
then that
take
egg
that
yolk
long.
on top of the hash makes just kind of a delicious
It's
sauce,
sauce, yeah.
for it. So good.
My opinion, an egg yolk is the #1 sauce out there, for sure. But you can give it a nice little shake to make sure the eggs aren't sticking on the bottom. So this should take about like 1 to 2 minutes to cook. All right, now that our egg whites have set up, we're going to go ahead and plate. This is ready. So we're going to do a nice little generous portion of that. And we're just going to slide these eggs right on top. And that butter is going to help to have a nice little sauce to it. And there we go.
Ready for breakfast.
There's a little parsley on top.
Mm.
Enjoy.
Yes, and we are Silver Spork Events and Catering. You can find us on Instagram at Silver Spork Events, and then on our website, silversporkevents.com. We're on Facebook as well, Silver Spork Events, and on Yelp. So, looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.